What if I told you that your freedom is just an illusion? You wake up, reach for your phone without thinking, and scroll. You're not even sure what you're looking for, just something new, something to distract you. Maybe you sip coffee while watching a short video, or throw on a song to kill the silence on your way to work or class. And from that moment on, it begins. A constant stream of stimulation. Podcasts, social media, notifications, noise. Always something, always now. But have you ever noticed what happens in the rare moments when everything goes quiet? A discomfort creeps in. A strange emptiness. Something inside you itches for another hit of pleasure, another distraction to escape the silence. Now, ask yourself again, are you truly free? The invisible cage. Pleasure itself isn't the enemy. In fact, it's a survival tool. Our brain, Yi's way of nudging us toward things that keep us alive. But what happens when that tool becomes our master? When the constant need to feel good traps us in an endless loop of instant gratification. Nearly a century ago, Aldous Huxley saw this coming. While George Orwell warned of a future ruled by force and surveillance in 1984, Huxley imagined something more subtle, and perhaps even more terrifying. A world where no one needed to be forced to obey, because they were too entertained to even think of rebellion. A society where people didn't need chains because they loved their servitude. Look around. Isn't that the world we're living in? Entertainment on demand, endless consumption, relief from every passing discomfort. But at what cost? How conditioning keeps you trapped. You might think you're in control, but if you can't go an hour without reaching for your phone, are you? Whenever you feel bored, sad, anxious, what do? Do you sit with it, understand it, or do you run straight to your favorite distraction? Social media, streaming, food, shopping, sex, alcohol, games. We live in the age of instant gratification, where discomfort is treated like a disease, and pleasure, the cure. But here's the catch. No one's forcing you to do it. No one's holding a gun to your head saying, keep scrolling. And that's exactly why it works. You've been conditioned to crave comfort at all costs. Over time, your brain forgets how to be alone, how to sit in silence, how to think deeply. And without realizing it, you become what Huxley feared most, a happy prisoner. The system that doesn't need chains. This didn't happen by accident. From a young age, we're taught to avoid discomfort. Schools train us to memorize, not to question. Jobs train us to produce, not to reflect. And culture bombards us with distractions, so we never stop to ask why. Why do I always need to feel good? Why am I afraid of being bored? Who benefits from my addiction to pleasure? The answer is simple. Those in power don't need to silence you, if they can just keep you entertained. In Brave New World, Huxley described a society where people were conditioned from birth to reject anything uncomfortable. A drug called soma wiped away any trace of pain or doubt. Sad? Take a pill. Anxious? Take a pill. Don't ask questions. Just stay happy. Sound familiar? Today, we don't need soma. We have likes, swipes, instant validation. We have TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. We have dopamine on demand. And with every click, we sink deeper into comfort and further from truth. Why pain is essential for freedom. Now imagine a world where no one suffers. No sadness, no fear, no struggle. Sounds like paradise, right? But look closer. What happens to people who never face difficulty, who are protected from every discomfort? They become fragile. Huxley knew this. In his dystopia, constant pleasure made people weak. They couldn't tolerate pain, frustration, or even their own thoughts. Life became a series of shallow highs, disconnected from meaning, depth, or purpose. Now, look at our world. Rejection is avoided with dating apps. Boredom is erased by endless scrolling. Sadness is numbed with quick fixes. We've become allergic to pain, and addicted to escape. But here's the truth. Pain has a purpose. It builds resilience. It teaches growth. It pushes us to evolve. And when we erase all suffering, we don't just lose pain, we lose strength. The antidote: purpose over pleasure. So the question becomes, what are you actually seeking? Happiness or meaning? Modern life tells you that happiness is the goal, but what does it offer you? Cheap dopamine, disposable highs, likes, shopping, junk food, binging, pleasure that fades the moment it arrives, leaving you emptier than before. Now think about the moments that truly shaped you. Were they easy, or were they filled with effort, struggle, even pain? Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust, once said, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." Purpose is what gives life direction. It doesn't vanish like pleasure. It builds. It roots you. But here's the problem. Purpose takes time. It requires patience, reflection, and, yes, discomfort. And that goes against everything the system wants. Because a person with purpose is dangerous. They can't be distracted. They can't be bought. They don't need validation. They are free. Escaping the pleasure trap. So, how do you break the cycle? How do you reclaim control in a world built to keep you addicted? Step 1. Limit your exposure to mindless pleasure. Not forever, but strategically. Cut back on social media. Skip the junk food. Turn off the noise. When you do, your brain begins to reset. You start to appreciate the simple again. Step 2. Rebuild your tolerance for discomfort. Be okay with silence. Be okay with being alone. Let boredom sit beside you without rushing to escape it. At first, it will feel unbearable, but that's a sign of how deep the conditioning runs. Step 3. Ask deeper questions. Why do I always seek distraction? Who profits from my numbness? What would I do with my time if I wasn't constantly chasing pleasure? Step 4. Replace pleasure with purpose. Find something meaningful to pursue, something that demands effort, that challenges you, that grounds you, because only purpose can fill the space that pleasure never will. If you've made it this far, something inside you is already changing. You've seen the trap. Now the question is, what will you do with that knowledge? Most people won't change. They'll go back to scrolling, numbing, forgetting. But you have a choice. Not an easy one, but a real one. You can keep distracting yourself. Or you can wake up. You can choose to stop living on autopilot and start building a life that actually matters. So I ask you, are you ready to take back control of your mind? Or will you stay comfortable in the cage built for you, one swipe at a time? If this resonated with you, leave a comment, share your thoughts. Because the first step toward freedom is questioning. And if you want to keep walking this path of awareness and purpose, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. This is just the beginning. We're not here to go with the flow. We're here to think, to see, to break free. See you in the next video.